Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, I watched this video, and Lord's will, I'll remember to put the link in the description box for you, Akim, to go ahead and watch it as well. And this is a woman from Australia, and she's speaking about different plans that they have for Australia, manipulating the weather and so on and so forth. We know Esau had that technology for a very long time, decades really. And, she's speaking about how he's planning on doing such and such. To basically to have the people completely dependent on them and to come in with, different financial help from the government to offer to the people in those times of peril. Okay, because we're coming to times of peril, as the scriptures call it, perilous times. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to read 2 Timothy 3, and what she's saying makes sense because it fits in with prophecy. What we're concerned with is prophecy. Does it line up with the prophecies? If it doesn't line up with the prophecies, we're not concerned with it. Okay, we might look at it. It might be relevant to a certain point, but if it's not lined up with prophecy, we understand that it's not going to fully come to fruition. All right, in that particular way. So, example, the Ukraine and Russia situation. We know that's not how World War III is going to start off. It's not going to start off between Russia and Ukraine, and then America's going to get it. No, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay? The Israeli state is going to be the ones to start off and cause WW3. Okay? Because that's what the prophecy says. So that's what we're looking for. And it's not going to be strictly a ground battle. No, it's going to end up being nuclear war, because of what the prophecies say, not because of what I think or what I want or my analytical analysis, but it's the prophecies that guide us to the correct understanding of the future events. All right. Now, this is 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1. It says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy." Now, what I want to deal with first, I want to deal with this perilous times. Okay, we see all this happening right now, but let's deal with perilous times. I want to look up the word perilous. The word perilous means full of danger or risk. You see, we're coming to a time that's full of danger or risk. And what is the Lord using to bring in that danger or risk? His sword on the left-hand side. And who is his sword on the left-hand side? Esau, Edom. Okay, who we've been warning you about. That's why the name of Esau, Edom is constantly in our mouth. Because he's the ruler of this present earth. You see what I'm saying to you? He's the ruler of this present earth. And what he's planning on doing to this earth, okay, is to basically siege. It's a big digital siege so that he can implement his NWO. And we've been telling you that. And that's going to lead to what prophecy? Revelations, the 13th chapter, 15th, 16th, and 17th verse. You have to understand this. Now, let's get Psalms, the 17th chapter and the 13th verse. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the enemy, which is thy sword." Okay, so the enemy of us is the sword of the Lord. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and they leave the rest of their substance to their babes, their inheritance. Okay? As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. Does this necessarily mean that the regular your neighbor Bob is going to be a sword unto you? No. It's dealing with the elites of the Edomites, the top of the Edomites, the ones that have control of the planet Earth. Okay, because they're not even feeding their own people. So we're dealing with the elites. So the elites are the sword of the Lord. So the Lord has given them powers. Okay, he's given them technology, all right, even to manipulate weather. Okay, and they think that it's their doing, which from what I understand, they're able to enhance weather, not necessarily create weather fully, but able to enhance what will already come. But nonetheless, that's a great power, and that's also adding unto his pride. Okay, so by the time the Lord comes back, this devil's going to be at the height of his pride. Okay, which is very, very soon. The Lord is on his way back. Okay, he's on his way back, very, very close. Only a couple more prophecies need to play out. Now we see that's his sword, right? And this is Ezekiel 21:10. It says, I'll start at verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. When you sharpen a sword, or when somebody sharpens a sword, they're usually sharpening it for the kill. You don't use a sword to slice apples. You use a sword to go to war or to kill. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth, right? When it glitters, right? When you see them cartoons and something is super sharp, it has that shine to it. Well, that's what it's speaking about. It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer. Now, who is the slayer? Who is the murderer? From the beginning, right? The Lord spoke about you have your father, the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning. That goes back to Cain. Who did Cain come back in the reincarnation as? Where did the spirit of Cain go? Did it disappear from the earth? No. It went directly into the Edomites, starting with their forefather Esau. It went into Esau, and now the Edomites, these are nothing but mini Cains walking around. That's why in slavery, what were they doing? They were lynching you, burning you, cutting off your members, and they were doing it for fun. A lot of the times. Most of the time, they were doing it for fun, for their pleasure. Okay? So this is the slayer, man. The murderer. Okay? And these jakes out here that don't get it, that are not under the umbrella of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, they will feel the wrath of this serpent. They will feel the wrath of the serpent. And no one will be able to deliver them. Okay? But those that are of the elect, those that are under the umbrella or the wings of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, they're going to be protected. They will be protected. When the righteous perish, it's not the same perishing as these people. When they perish for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and it's a glorious death. Just understand that. They don't die randomly. They don't die from the kick in the door and they shoot you. No. The Lord gives them a special spirit. But guess what? All the elect is not going to die. Hold on. Let's get this. Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. What does it mean by sleep? We shall not all die. We're not all going to go back to the spirit world in death. All right, but we shall all be changed, meaning this corruptible shall put off what? This corruptible shall put on incorruption, meaning those eternal bodies, those incorruptible bodies. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Okay? So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality, those new bodies, which we will never sin. Those bodies, we're not able to sin in those bodies. Those bodies are free from sin. Then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. So that's true salvation, to not have to sin anymore, which the Christians don't understand that. Because the Hebrews, the 8th chapter, that promise, that covenant, that new covenant was only written to the nation of Israel. Let me get that real quick. All right. I know I'm going into something else, but that's how the Spirit moves. You know, the Spirit, we can't control the Spirit. I can't control the Spirit. I go where the Spirit leads me, man. This is Hebrews 8:7. It says, for if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, with who? The Israelites, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Only the Israelites, no other nation. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. So at the end of the day, we're not going to sin in these new bodies, this incorruptible body. And that's why we're not going to die. So dealing with that, right? We know that there's great tribulation coming, perilous times. As we saw, that's a time of great danger, right? But the elect is going to be preserved from that. They're not going to go through the judgments of the world. Although some elect will go back to the spirit world in glorious fashion, okay? And the Lord will put the Spirit on them to endure, right? Just like there's many examples in the scriptures of that, where the Lord just put a strong spirit on it, and we don't even know if they might not even have felt what they were going through, man. Some of them, you see? But regardless, you know, the Lord said that he will not give you more than ye are able. But these people, they're going to get burnt up, man. What they're about to go through, they're not going to be able to handle it, man. Even now, they can't even handle this little thing that's going on, these little lockdowns and whatnot. They're breaking at this. So imagine when all hell breaks loose, man. Let me get something. This is Romans 13. It says, let every soul be subject to the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High, right? Esau, the sword of the Heavenly Father, he was ordained from the Heavenly Father. Whosoever therefore resisteth, which this word here is to fight against, right? To be a zealot, right? You try to lift up arms, say we're going to get guns together and do this and that. You got Israelites trusting in their guns, man. And brothers, don't be promoting brothers to get guns, man. We're not in the time of getting guns. That's carnal nonsense, man. We don't need that, okay? The weapons of our warfare is not carnal. Even when the Lord, he told him to pick two swords, what was the only example? What was the only example of the sword being used with the Lord? When Peter chopped off the ear of that was it a centurion or whatnot? And what did the Lord say? He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. So you ain't supposed to have that spirit. Oh, I might get an AR-15 in that day. No, the Lord's not going to deliver us from AR-15s, man. The Lord's going to deliver us through his power. And he's going to make that known, man. All right. So that nonsense, you guys got to put that, knock that off, man. All right. And we have to watch what we say to the flock, because you got brothers who just coming in. They'll take that and they'll run with that type of stuff, man. Jake is looking to feed his flesh. Anyways, this is and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. You understand that? So Jake, that when the police pulled him over and I got my rights, and they keep the windows rolled down, and the police breaks the window and drags them out and beats them halfway to death. Well, that's someone who doesn't understand the scriptures, right? Or how to agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him. Okay? For rulers are not a terror to good works. You hear that? Rulers are not a terror to good works. Although Esau is the sword of the Lord, he's not a terror to those that do the good works. The preaching, the prophesying, the teaching, the keeping of the commandments to the best of our abilities, turn many to righteousness, so on and so forth. Brotherly love, okay? But to the evil, will thou then not be afraid of the power? You should be afraid of what Esau's coming in. We're telling you about it, and you're not afraid. You should be afraid. Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same, even of these devils. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. You see? So the 2/3, they have a lot of destruction coming their way. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. You see, when the police pass us, when we're preaching and whatnot, they wave. Okay, and these Montreal cops are some real a-holes, man. They're real grimy with it, man. All right, racist. But guess what? They wave when they see us, man. Nod the head, smile. Why? Because the rulers are not a terror to good works. Let me get because it mentioned that he beareth not the sword in vain, right? And we told you that a sword was sharpened, or the scriptures told you that a sword was sharpened for what? For the slayer. And what is he gonna do? He's gonna create a sore slaughter. Okay, a sore slaughter for you people, man. That's why I said perilous times shall come, dangerous times. See, this is all the Lord hasn't even cleared his throat yet, man. Okay, that whole C-19, you thought that was a big thing. That changed the world, eh? That changed the whole earth. But guess what? That was just like a trial run. They were just seeing, testing the waters, man. Dipping it. When you dip your toe in the water to see if it's cold. Oh, the real stuff hasn't even started yet. This is Revelations 4 and verse. Oh, excuse me. I said 4, right? Oh, it's really Revelation 6 is what I'm looking for. 6 and 4. Okay, this is Revelation 6 and verse 4. And it says, and there went out another horse that was red, representing these Edomites, because Edom means red. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. So that's what the Lord is about to unleash on these people. Okay, that great sword. And you Israelites are definitely not ready. You are definitely not ready for what's coming. And even you Israelite groups, man, they're just starting to teach you about Jacob's trouble now. When it's clear that Jacob troubles, anyone could see. The average person could see there's something coming, man. I'll speak to plenty of people. They can see something's coming. So now you're teaching them, but you're not a prophet, man. I'll say this, man. That's not that's not a sign of a true prophet, man. You just, only when it comes you can see it. Oh, well, we didn't preach about it back then because nothing was happening. Well, that's what a prophet is all about. A prophet is all about preaching before the destruction comes, before the calamities come. All right? So you guys keep following these people into a ditch, man. This is Jeremiah 30 and 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who? The elect. All right. And I want to say this too, because they're just starting to teach about these things now. When the brothers in Great Millstone, we've been rooted from the beginning. The Wadi Yahweh Shemi Al Shai for leading us to proper teachers, man, good teachers, man. Because we've been learning about this from the beginning. So when this came, I was happy. When this C19 started kicking off, I was happy about it, man. I haven't been so happy since when that came out. These dudes were all nervous, wearing eight gloves, 8 masks, scared as hell, man. Because we've been rooted and we understood that these things were coming, man. Now they're just starting to teach them about this. So this is like a shock. This is a shock to them. So they're not going to be ready for when it comes for real. They're not going to be rooted. That's when you got the 5 foolish virgins and you got the 5 wise virgins who were prepared. Okay, let's get Daniel's the 12th chapter, please. I'm talking like someone's with me pulling up the scripture. This is Daniel's 12 and verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, right? Then we read about dangerous times, perilous times. This is what we're coming into. Such as never was since there was a nation. And this is going to be worse than anything you ever read about in history. Even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Every one that shall be found written in the book. In what book? The book of life. You understand? So when we say perilous times is coming because the prophecies has prescribed it. And the Lord hath given us the foresight. All right. This is 1 Peter's 4 and verse 17. Excuse me. And it reads, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? So if judgment is going to begin at those that somewhat keep the commandments, they might have beards on their face, they might not eat certain foods because of the commandments, they might catch themselves trying to keep the high holy days, but they don't got it completely right because the Lord is strict. He's an austere man. What does austere mean? Let's look up the word austere. Okay. Let's look up the word austere. Let's look at the word austere because the Lord is an austere man, right? It says severe or strict in manner. Okay, attitude or appearance. So the Lord is strict. That's why it says a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So when we get on you other camps, it's not us speaking, but the Lord speaking through us because the Lord wants everyone to be on point. There were so much things that those churches did right. But then he said, but I had one ought against you. And if you don't stop this, I'm gonna take you out swiftly. I'm gonna put you, I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna do this and that. Showing you the Lord, he deals with perfection. He wants things to be right, especially when it comes to this building. So if the judgment is going to begin with us, right, meaning those who somewhat keep the commandments, right? But then you got camps that are playing games, so they're going to be visited, man. Then what's going to be the end of those that are not keeping the commandments whatsoever, who completely ignore this word? It's not a game, man. All right? It's not a game out here. It's deadly serious. This is Isaiah 59 in verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. Okay, look, the face of the enemy's right here. You see, that serpent, man. He's going to come in like a flood with his armies to do what? To issue, to exact his NWO. He's not playing games. That's why Revelations 13 and 15 says what? That who should not worship the beast should be killed. We're coming to that point. If you're not ready to worship this system or to bow down to the system, and that a big part of that is what? The microscopic implant. You will be on the red list. Okay, you will be on the red list. Okay. And that movie Snowpiercer shows you that, man. That series Snowpiercer. I watched the movie, but I also watch a series now, and it shows you about that. There are certain people that want the yellow list and the red list. Okay. But anyways, this is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." Right? Because when all hell breaks loose, you're not going to have pleasure in going to the club. You're not going to have pleasure in dealing with some hoe. Trust me. Trust me. When food is not on the table, the last thing on your mind is going to be dealing with some woman. Okay? You understand? So you're not going to have pleasure in those days, but the Lord ain't going to want you in those days. Just like these women, they're not going to have pleasure in they're going to want to be with you in those times, right? The men of the Lord. But guess what? A lot of them are going to get rejected. So you sisters, you should shoot your shot now, because this is the time to get in, right? It says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Well, who's over you? Who's the Lord over you? Your husbands, your men. So it's better you seek a husband now. All right? That's my personal opinion, man. Okay? To me, that makes sense. Because in that time when all hell breaks loose, not to say the Lord can't, put the spirit on brothers to accept you in that time, but hey, you want to get into a stock early. That's always the best time to get into a stock, right? While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? These Edomites, because they're managing the house right now. And the strong men, and the house is the earth, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, right? Work is becoming scarce, and it's going to become scarcer because they want you to depend on them. That's why they have something called UBI, Universal Basic Income, all right? Meaning what? They want to be able you to depend on them. They're going to give you what you need. They're going to ration out to you what you need on a daily basis. And believe me, they're not trying to give you the best of the best. All right. They're trying to give you the minimal. All right. And they're going to give you a lot of abominations, man. So anything that Esau offers you, this is the new substance that we have that it has everything you need. All the nutrients. Don't eat that. Okay. That's a straight abomination. And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Okay. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. Listen, man, when they got them when they're paying you what you need to sustain what they're paying you, or they're rationing out to you your daily rations, right? Why is it could be a lockdown same time, so no one's gonna be out in the streets. All right, so you just gotta stay home and take what they give you. You understand? And the daughters of music, right? Meaning you're not gonna be out there playing music. You're not gonna be thinking about the new single that was released. You're gonna be thinking about survival. All right. And the scriptures say they shall not drink wine with a song. Okay. Also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and the desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. You're going to hear people mourning, wailing in the streets, okay, screaming, someone getting robbed, someone getting ravished, whatever the case may be. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. All right, so like we said, perilous times, right? Perilous times are coming. All right, let's get 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter. We'll start at the 6th verse. Matter of fact, the 5th verse, it says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the earth, upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the earth, the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves, because the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." Well, one of the innocent blood is, the main innocent blood is who? Yahweh Shai. He's still thinking about what was done to him 2,000 years ago. Okay, and when he comes back, as it says, the day of vengeance burneth in his heart. Okay, then you got other people who have been killed throughout the decades and centuries that were innocent. All right, and millenniums that were innocent. And this is what you're seeing is the great finale of judgments. "And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them out. I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Now, how is the Lord going to deliver us? The scripture says what? Let me see if it's in as birds flying, right? But I want to get something else too. I want to get Revelations, the 18th chapter. It says, "As birds flying," this is Isaiah 31:5. "As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it." What does the birds flying represent? It represents those chariots, okay? What they call UFOs. Those chariots are going to deliver the elect. Now let's get Revelations, the 18th chapter, because this is the ultimate plague. The ultimate plague is the nuclear missiles, okay? But there's going to be plagues that are going to happen before that. Grievous plagues, man. This is Revelations 18:1. It says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Right? That's America to a T, okay, because of that decadent lifestyle. Right? Even if you're in the projects, you're the poor of the poor. The poor of the poor in America has a flat screen TV in their home. Okay? And it says, Revelation 18:4 says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." What's the main plague? Those nuclear missiles. So what is the voice going to say? It's going to say, "Come out of her, my people." And what's going to happen? You're going to be taken up into those chariots, and you're going to be changed in a twinkling of an eye. And that's when the corruptible is going to put on incorruptible. Right? And that goes for man and woman. All of our bodies are going to be incorruptible. Okay, of course the men are going to have the superior power. That goes without saying. Okay, the men are going to be gods on earth, man. Okay, but our women are going to be above all these other women. All right. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to be normal women. The beauty is going to be on a whole nother level. You understand? So, hey, we're gonna be, he's gonna beautify the meek with salvation. Okay, let's get back to 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter. It says, verse 9, it says, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. Actually, I think I read that already. I think I'm at verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. That's dealing with the nuclear missiles. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, meaning it's coming closer. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's why the events are happening closer and closer in between, because we're getting closer and closer to the end. As the scriptures speak about it being as birth pains, okay, which at the beginning is far apart, the pains, but then the closer you get to the baby being delivered, the contractions are just it doesn't slack, all right. And that's how we know when they're acting like it's peace and say ain't no peace and say something bigger's happen, get ready to come, man. All right, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. So you're gonna have people kicking down people's doors. All right, seeing if they got food in there. Okay, ravishing wives and whatnot. Right, there's gonna be cannibals moving all around. Okay, searching for food. So listen, man, we're coming to what perilous times. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but he shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You understand that? So, hey, because of the great tribulation, you're going to see the love of many wax cold. These people, and when you look up that word cold, it actually says cycle. So you deal with a cycle. There's cycles. First of all, there's cycles walking around anyway. There's people with that serial killer mindset walking around anyway. Serial murderer mindset walking around right now. But they just didn't unleash it yet. But when all hell breaks loose, that's going to be their chance to unleash their lusts. It's going to be a very bloody time. This is the finale of Judgements that we're getting to, man. And I think that's what I'm going to name this lesson, the finale of Judgements. The great finale of Judgment. So anyways, with that, Lord willing, you were edified. I'll put this video in the description box, so you brothers can see it. All right, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Shai. Hopefully this was an edifying lesson, and I'll say shalom till the next time.